Rodeo Honey. I'm your host, Becky Partain, and with me as always is the Rodeo Honey,
Eddie Lou Curtis Burleson.
There you go. And so, like I said, the last time we were here to talk about your life in the golden age of rodeo, growing up with your daddy on the rodeo trail, all the wild stuff that you guys got into, and who knows where this thing's going, right?
For sure.
But before we do that and get into his rodeo life and yours, I want to get to know him a little bit better and kind of just set the stage for that, because we're also talking about family memories, which are so important. Just to know where you came from, and the American story is just beautiful, isn't it?
The roots are beautiful.
The roots are beautiful. Amen. So, your dad is Eddie Curtis.
Yes.
And he was born in El Reno.
Yes, in 1908, December the 9th, 1908. And,
Christmas baby.
Yes. And his folks were farmers in that area, and they grew a lot of wheat. Something happened. I don't know if it was the war or what happened, but they had all their wheat loaded on railroad cars, and for some reason the cars were forbidden to move. So the wheat all spoiled. They lost their crops. Grandpa Curtis and Grandma went to Florida, and he worked on the railroad.
Grandpa Curtis did.
Yeah. Daddy was about 12, 13 years old, and he didn't want to go. Fort Reno was getting in horses and everything, so he broke remounts and mules.
Because Fort Reno is the cavalry. That was a cavalry outpost at the time.
Yes, he broke cavalry horses for the U.S. Army at Fort Reno. Mm-hmm. And
now, was Andy with him at that time?
I don't know. I don't think so, because Andy was 3 years younger than Daddy.
Yeah.
But they did rodeo together later.
Yeah. So he quit school and everything and just went straight to work at 12 years old.
Yeah. No school.
No school. No school. I just saw...
He was after my own heart. No school.
Well, I just saw a clip of Rocker Steiner on a podcast where he was talking about that he went to about 4th grade and he was in trouble, and his dad said, Steiners aren't made for school. And so I felt a little even more like of a connection, because I knew, my grandpa, your dad's story, that, it really wasn't for him nor you, or, and we're not gonna get into all that. But anyway, so they started breaking remounts at the Fort Reno.
Yes, and he had a pair of rowels put in.
Oh, tell us about the rowels.
Well, most cavalry spurs were blunt.
Uh-huh.
But for some reason, he had these little rowels put in so that they would spin around when he rode and broke horses.
Oh, that's cool.
Entered his first rodeo when he was 14.
Do you know how that came about at all, or just like he just got a wild hair one day, or who knows what?
Who knows what? And it's an interesting story, another story of how I even got the spurs back. I didn't even know they existed.
Oh, that's cool. Yep. Stay tuned for more. I know you guys want to come back for that story. There's going to be a lot of good ones.
But anyway,
he went to his first rodeo when he was
14 and entered in a pair of Brogan work boots, because that was all he had. He couldn't afford
Brogan?
Yeah, that's what they called them.
He's in his work boots. He goes to the rodeo.
And he wins.
Yes, he does.
And with his prize money, he goes and buys him a pair of cowboy boots and throws his Brogans away. That's all I know about that.
And that was the start.
That was the beginning.
And from there, he had a very successful rodeo career.
Yes, he did.
But he was in the Turtle Association, which was the precursor to the RCA, which is the precursor to the PRCA, and rodeo as we know it today.
And he was before the Turtles.
And he was before the Turtles. He was a founding member.
Yes, and on the board of directors.
And on the board. He was part of, so the Cowboys had a strike.
Yes. I'd say he might have been an instigator.
I cannot believe that. Okay, so he was part of that Turtles Association and part of the strike, part of the everything getting started. And this is where we talk about these stories coming in. Share your stories. Talk to your grandma, your great grandpa, whoever, because he's gone. and my grandma, Barbara, is gone. And once they were together, because I never met him, but once they got together, they went all on the rodeo trail up through Montana. They went fly fishing, and I mean, they did everything. And I just, I just think that the first-hand story is always the best story.
Always the best. And I think that some of my biggest regrets is that I didn't know more.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were so many stories, and I hear so many stories. Well, not anymore because they're all gone.
But when you were a kid and he was with you, he was just your daddy.
Yes.
But then after he passed and you were an adult, people would come up to you. And they would come up to me and to my brother, Bo, who you'll also meet at a later date. And talk about a character, we'll have to do a side-by-side photograph there. But anyway, they would come up and say, I knew your dad or your grandpa, and would have some crazy story to tell.
Always a crazy story to tell.
Yeah. And another thing about him that, like I said, I never met him, but we don't have a lot. And I mean, you can't keep everything. But he kept nothing. No. He gave every buckle almost
all his pictures.
His saddles.
Anything that somebody wanted, he let them have it.
He lived with an open hand, didn't he?
Yes. And I think that it showed whenever they came for his funeral. Because Mother said, I remember her first words after I got over the shock were, get this house cleaned up, there's people coming. And I'm going, people coming? What does she mean? People are coming. And the cowboys just started coming and coming and coming, and they would stay until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And Clem McSpadden would play the guitar, and they would tell stories. And there was John Lindsay and Hoyt Hefner and Buck Rutherford and Lindermans, the Feddersons,
everybody,
all the old timers and Butlers. They shut down their rodeoing a day early so they could get back for the funeral services.
Yeah.
And it was just unbelievable how many cowboys and people came and had stories to tell. And I was in such a shock. I didn't remember the stories.
Yeah. So, kind of, I don't really want to talk about that because that sucks. But it is a testament to the man and the rodeo community.
Oh, yes.
And the Western lifestyle community. I didn't grow up in rodeo a lot. I mean, I did.
Yes.
But we grew up on the backside of a racetrack, man. We did.
Yes.
And it's the same.
It's the same. It's family.
It is. That Western lifestyle, you just can't
beat it. It's not blood kin, but it's family, and it's this type family. Yeah.
Well, we've been talking a lot. Yes. So I think we'll wrap it up for today. So we'll come back next time, and we're going to talk about how we got from El Reno to Nowata and how we came up with the name of our show, Rodeo Honey. Thanks for watching.
Later.